Yes, there is a ton of over-explaining exposition of stuff that is happening on screen in a lot of these episodes. Let's jump right in. I've had fun rewatching War of the Sontarans every time I've come back to it in the past 4 years. I absolutely love when Doctor Who gives us character designs and set pieces that feel like nothing we've seen before, but also reminiscent of other sci-fi in recent years. It's absolutely what the show deserves for itself. These kinds of unique original set pieces that are very evocative. Because they are a good opportunity for the characters to explore and give a lot of exposition. I thought it flowed together in a way that felt like decent storytelling when a lot of episodes around this time felt like it failed to handle their multiple settings. And a history where the Sontarans have always been on Earth, that is such a fun concept for the Doctor to handle. The episode has moments of just enough gravitas to really feel the weight of the Sontarans as well as the British Army when you need to feel the tension of that stuff, as well as balancing it with the satire and humor that naturally comes with the Sontarans' warlike demeanor. So yes, the comedy balanced with action, drama, and history is very crucial and pivotal for an enjoyable Doctor Who experience. And I'm absolutely in love with some of the cinematography and filmic shots in this story. Capture being the ultimate defeat for a Sontaran. Having the companions spend about 2 years apart is an interesting move that they've done in episodes before. And then the Doctor facing off against Tech Taeyoon is like confronting an abusive mother. Tech Taeyoon is like, you give the universe false hope, so we created this big ship to destroy this universe and make room for this next big universe. And then by the Vanquishers, the Sontarans have this plan to assemble the Dalek fleets and the Cybermen fleets for this sort of alliance meeting. But really the Sontarans are trying to bring them to the eye of the tornado of the final Flux event so that it can wipe out all the Dalek and Cybermen fleets. Pretty badass of the Sontarans. I like how the Ood gets to be a sort of quiet background, non-biased player. And yes, a couple characters here, like Jericho, might just feel like stand-ins for the previous characters of Graham and Ryan. That being said, I enjoyed Flux more than I did last time watching it. But to be fair, Graham and Ryan's internal conflict towards Tim Shaw, what a terrible name for a Doctor Who villain. That was the most memorable thing about the Series 11 finale, Battle of Ranskor. But speaking of another Sontaran episode that leads into the satire, The Two Doctors, for example, that kind of cuts between timelines, and it might as well have harsh cuts between timelines. If Robert Holmes had the balls to write a story like that, where he turns the second Doctor into this cannibal-like alien called an Andergum, making the second Doctor absolutely grotesque. The Two Doctors might be a bit disturbing when you first see what it's being about. But then years later I just grew to respect the dark comedy of the two. So seeing that evolve into a historical like this, it was such a blast and such a pleasure. I didn't know about a historical figure like Mary Secord. That really makes up for the lackluster Rosa Parks episode. And yeah, the way they implanted the serpent villain all throughout Unit, I thought that was alright. That kind of had me off guard. And yeah, I guess they made the destruction of time unfold pretty believably for the storyline. And then we learn about this sort of extinct race called the Muri that keeps time from running wild, and how that relates to this companion Carvanista, who used to apparently travel with the Doctor in memories that she completely forgot about. Tech Taeyoon offers the Doctor a chance for her to join Division. And yeah, War of the Sontarans to me feels like a nice, contained, isolated episode with just the right amount of technobabble. I feel like that might be the best way to praise Doctor Who, is by referencing it similarly to other episodes it's done before. So, Legend of the Sea Devils. This sort of ancient prophecy of this shipwrecked treasure over hundreds of years that the Sea Devils used to escape captivity. The underground base that the Sea Devils build over the shipwreck area I thought looked really, really nice. Great set design. Can't believe how great they can make Doctor Who look underwater. And rewatching it a second time, I really enjoyed the action sequence that happens around the last 15-20 minutes, where the Sea Devils and the pirate crews are all fighting. The whole ancient prophecy aspect, kind of fun, kind of believable. Of course, the typical amount of cheesiness of trying to pull on your heartstrings, just like the threatening war lines in the Sontaran episodes can make you laugh. And I'm really happy with how they tried their best to make the Sea Devils look as faithful to the 70s versions, while revamping some things about their look. Great job. So yes, it feels great to soften up to more Whittaker era episodes after the past few years. And I'm actually a big fan of that black coat that Jodie Whittaker gets to wear in some of Flux. That is a top tier Doctor Who outfit choice. I'm really respecting how the 3 episodes of Flux that I rewatched, it's almost similar to Trial of the Time Lords. A lot of things about it, like some of the depth it goes into with the sort of world building on Gallifrey, and the kind of trickery that's going on. And the ultimate foe is my favorite part of that. And on the same note, I feel like I'm having a lot of fun just thinking about the random different plot points that Flux tries to throw at us. I do notice a few moments where the audio is too loud for the dialogue. I noticed it, other people have pointed it out, there's so much over-explaining, over-expositionary dialogue in a lot of these episodes for some reason in these years. And yes, the ironically conflicting morals when Jihan kills a Sea Devil, and the Doctor condemns him for it, and then literally a scene later, Dan kills like 6 Sea Devils and they're joking about it. Doctor Who contradicting itself like that in one scene. I really like this green underground base setting. I don't know about other people. I think it looks better than Vampires of Venice. Speaking of which, that shot where Matt Smith is climbing that tower in the thunderstorm, that does look very green screen, but other than that, Vampires in Venice still had moments like Matt Smith running away from an explosion and falling. That balanced out the cheesiness with good stuff. I like how there's no explanation for the Sea Devil Mario jump. For a penultimate special, there are things about it that can be reminiscent of what I loved about watching Planet of the Dead back in the day. Just a fun adventure story. So I think it's pretty clear which episode I think wins. Thank you, War of the Sontarans, for being the fun experience that we needed around this time. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one.